the plight of Muslims in Burma, former Burma, Myanmar. Over 400,000 Muslims of Rohingya fled Burma to Bangladesh. Over 400,000 of them. And in fact, those are the lucky ones. Those who fled their country and find whatever refuge in Bangladesh were the lucky ones. Those who could not flee the country and stayed, they faced annihilation, destruction, and murder. Thousands of them have been killed. And it pains me so much to say that thousands of Muslim women have been raped and many kids have been killed. Yet, all of this happening when the world is watching and doing nothing. Doing nothing at all. The world is watching the plight of hundreds of thousands of those innocent people being killed, their homes being destroyed, their mosques being burned down, and the world chose not to do anything. There was a slight condemnation by the Security Council of the United States, of the United Nations. A few comments here and there by certain leaders around the world, and that's it. That's it. Yesterday, my dear brothers and sisters, there was a piece of news in New York Times. Go and check it yourself. An animal that is on the list of extinction crossed the border, wild animal, crossed the border from Poland to East Germany. Obviously, the residents of local area were terrified. They called the police. The police came and killed that animal. And now hell let loose. Because an animal on the list of animals that could be extincted was killed. Now, the world feels responsibility when one wild animal is killed. But the same world does not care when 400,000 Muslims are being persecuted, their women are being raped, their kids are being killed, and nothing happens. Now, forget about the rest of the world. What happened to the Muslims themselves? There are 1.6 billion Muslims at least around the world. There are 59 kings, presidents, prime ministers in the Muslim world. What happened to them? Why they have been deaf and mute and blind? Why they don't say anything? How come nothing is being said? No action is being taken. I remember a hadith from the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam says one day, predicting our situation nowadays, قال كيف بكم إذا تداعت عليكم الأمم كما تتداعى الأكلة على القصعة. How do you Muslims feel when you have been cut into small slices and other nations will invade you, attack you, and slice you out just like few people who gather to eat piece of pizza? The Prophet didn't use pizza. I am using the word pizza. They cut it into slices and each takes a slice. How do you feel when this happens to you? Muslims replied, قالوا يا رسول الله أو من قلة ذلك يا رسول الله. Is it because we are outnumbered? قال لا إنكم كثير وَلَكِنَّكُمْ غُثَاءٌ كَغُثَاءِ السَّيْلِ. No, no, you will not be outnumbered. In fact, you will be many. We have 1.6 billion Muslims. وَلَكِنَّكُمْ غُثَاءٌ كَغُثَاءِ السَّيْلِ. You will look like a bubble. You see the bubble? A bubble is as big in size, but it's empty from inside. That's how we Muslims often look. We have a huge number of Muslims around the world, but no one cares about us. It seems that the cheapest blood in this world is the Muslim blood. Imam Ali ibn Abi Talib alayhi salam, in his last will to Imam Hassan and Imam Hussein, you Muslims have to be proud of such a leader, visionary leader, that told his two sons, وَكُونَا لِلظَّالِمِ خَصْمًا وَلِلْمَظْلُومِ عَوْنًا. Always stand against the oppressor and always support the oppressed. Don't ask about their religion. Don't say if the oppressed is a Shia or not. If he's a Shia, I will support him. If he's not a Shia, I will not. No, that's not what our Imam says. Don't ask about the identity of the oppressed. As long as they are oppressed, you have the duty to support them. And don't also ask about the identity of the oppressor. If he's Muslim, I'm not going to say anything. But if he's non-Muslim, I will criticize him. No, that's not what the Imam says. No matter who the oppressor is, we have a duty to stand against him and to speak up. And that's what Imam Ali alayhi salam taught his followers. And in order to be true followers of Imam Ali ibn Abi Talib, we should not only use his name, carry the Sayf al-Dhul Faqar, have a tattoo of his name on our arm. Rather, we have to imitate him and follow his footsteps. That's how we can claim to be true Shia of Ali ibn Abi Talib, a true Shia of Imam Hussein. Imam Hussein gave up his life, the life of the closest and the most precious individuals in his life, his children, his brothers, his nephews, for one reason, because he decided not to keep quiet over oppressors oppressing the oppressed. He didn't want to keep quiet when he sees injustice is prevailing in the land, and he will be responsible for it, for not speaking up. My dear brothers and sisters, I remind you, as I'm